In the tapestry of life, where every thread holds a story, America in Black and White emerges as a haven for the voices echoing through the heart of our communities. In this podcast, we wade through the rivers of our collective experiences, celebrating the vibrant hues of change brought forth by the whispers of hope and the roars of action. It's more than just a conversation. It's a journey into the heart of our society, illuminated by the light of those daring to dream and do. Join us, and let your voice be the melody that guides us toward a dawn where every color finds its place in the masterpiece of our shared destiny. Together, let's paint a future brimming with the positives that dwell in our minds and the actions that shape our world.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to America in Black and White, Season 3, Episode 157. I'm your host, Charles King, and tonight we're joined by a scholar, scientist, and entrepreneur whose work bridges education, research, and community empowerment. Professor Antwan Daniels has dedicated over 13 years to educating college students in chemistry, bringing both rigor and authenticity to the classroom. He holds a BS in chemistry from Langston University and an MS in medicinal chemistry from the University of Tennessee Health Science Center and an MA in teaching of science from Christian Brothers University. Currently, he is completing his PhD in higher education administration with a focus on self-efficacy and improving success rates for first-generation chemistry learners. Professor Daniels is not only a reflective practitioner, but also a servant leader practicing the constructivist theory of learning and engaging students with an equity lens. His career as a researcher includes a pivotal fellowship at the National Institute of Drug Abuse, where he honed laboratory and peer-reviewed writing skills. Beyond academia, he is an entrepreneur, founder of 5S LLC, scientist seeking strategic, sustainable solutions, a company launched in 2023 that advances advocacy, advisory services, and science literacy. Through initiatives like Cool Kids Chemistry, national grant reviews, and published studies on Black STEM professionals, he continues to expand his impact in STEM and sustainability. Tonight, we'll explore his journey as a chemistry professor, his work as a principal investigator, his entrepreneurial vision, and his reflection on Black history, particularly why Percy Julian, the legendary chemist, stands as the most influential figure in his life and career. This is a conversation about science, equity, and legacy. Let's welcome Professor Antwan Daniels to America in Black and White.
Greetings, greetings.
Yes, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. Trying to get this light right. There's lights all over the place. There we go. Let me scoot back a little bit. There we go. There we go. Great, great. Yeah.
Well,
Blessed to be here today.
and I'm glad that that you've had the opportunity to join us tonight. Is there anything you like for the audience to know pre-show that you want them to just know before we get started?
Oh, like I say, you're in for a great ride. I mean, the journey is beautiful. The future's even brighter. And so just want to let you know to share this and listen right now to more scientists in the space, so people who are wondering what life looks like in the future for them and those kind of things. I'm a 44-year-old Black man, BMW Black man working. So this is the space to definitely be utilized 1,000 times over to be viewed in different places across America. Gonna keep it a great space to enjoy. It's gonna be what I call, let's not network, let's do nest work. And I'll
Yes,
explain
sir.
later on.
Yes, sir. So I want to start with your life story and background. So can you tell us, Professor Daniels, tell us about your early life and what sparked your love for science?
Wow, so good. I go back pretty far deep. I mean, I was blessed to. I wasn't a real latchkey kid. I was raised in a village-like mindset of community, different people around, cousins, play cousins, all those beautiful things. Mother was in the healthcare setting as a patient aide. My father went on to. He was in Fairview University, got his BS degree in engineering, but we wasn't around each other in that time period. But still, I had an affinity from somewhere I know, but able to just go outside and wonder why. I wonder what my great grandmother Julia would put tea outside and sun baked tea. I'm like,
Mhm.
why would you get to bake the tea in the sun? And so just those mindsets of just watching that tea sit in that jar with these bags all over it, and like something's happening outside through these UV rays that doesn't happen in the house. So therefore, that was the early spark right there.
Okay. And so did you always just learn a lot of things, or were you just always in the company of your grandmother a lot?
So early on, yes. So I was raised in a way I consider, to me, it's a good thing, but due to teenage pregnancies, I was raised with four generations of women, which
Mm,
was very impactful on me in a positive way. My sister Tara being the fourth generation. So I had my sister, who 4 years younger than me, was doing a great job in Dallas, Texas, being a leading the way down there. And then I had my mother, who had me at 16 years old, 15 years old. And then I had my grandmother in the same
mhm.
household, who had her when she was 16 years old. And then I had my great grandmother. So
Oh,
I had
wow.
four women in the household and functional. My
Mhm.
great grandma worked until she was down with colon cancer. So she worked until in her 70s. And so to see that being in the household around those things were very pivotal to my mindset of what the experiences of women, of where they approach things, the science behind cooking, science behind, we had a peach tree, fig tree in the backyard, and we would utilize those in different kind of ways. And just so many things were around me. And I never say I grew up without. I grew up with everything I was supposed to have to be where I'm at right now. And so
Oh,
my father's side was also well experienced. Remember, I think when I turned 9 years old, and I got to see him. Into many different things. He was a business owner, cowboy. He was a into prison ministry, and many different things. But my grandmother on my paternal side was an educator, a special needs educator, and so that being somewhere inside of her bloodline because her father was a superintendent of a black school district in East Texas, and so it had always been somewhere in me. It took some things to come out of me. I will always say that that sometimes you got to be in the fire a little bit to really
mhm.
get what comes out of you. So I experienced that early on, and then like I said before, I ran across I want to say it was Jet magazine, and it
Mhm.
would do like little special pullouts.
Right.
It was a guy named Dr. Percy Julian,
Mhm.
and that kind of was what someone said, what is he doing? What did he do? And I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh, okay. But later on, it would come back to my life later on when I was in college, but not then. It wasn't my impetus then. Yes.
Oh. So, how did growing up shape your perspective in education and equity?
Oh boy. You went deep on this question now. Okay, so it was strange. So this is the purpose. So I'm not. I don't try to false claim the first generation title because I was raised first generation, but my life experiences were my dad's side makes me none first generation college student.
Mhm.
But I was I actually went back and forth between what people consider the urban core schools, Dallas ISD,
Mhm.
and into a school called Duncanville ISD then, which was considered to be the suburbs. And
Mhm.
so between the grade of third grade till about sixth grade, I was back and forth between these two different school districts, so I actually saw it like
Mhm.
vividly. If I was a researcher then, I would have great studies. So I saw it because I would see what a teacher in the Dallas ISD, the frustrations and the challenges in the early years of my time, but the care. They so many of them actually wanted to be there, and you had that bandwidth, and they wanted to raise you and mold you. Now, I will say they were they were kind of functioning from a fear mindset, though. They were functioning from a fear that if we don't do something with you or get you ready for what's coming out in the future, then wouldn't be ready. So it had a little fear to it. Then in the suburban schools, it was in a mindset of faith. So they had a faith in you that you could do anything and be anything. But only problem was it wasn't so evenly about do anything. It was normally the person beside me who could do anything. And me, you're gonna do one thing I tell you to do. And so it's kind of like it was more of a breaking moment. And give you a good story. I came into the school late in Douglasville ISD, and they put me in a mixed class, a class with third grade and second grade students, the hybrid like class, which was a beautiful model to me personally. It was considered the overflow. And so I told buddy of mine, a young white guy like me, a white boy like myself, a black guy. I told him, hey man, when you go to our school, we're gonna put you in the same class with me. We're gonna have a good time.
Mhm.
So I started then. I remember sitting down in my chair. I had a chair right by the door, so I was like the teacher supporter for the class. I
Mhm.
had a chair right by the door, and I saw him and his family and the principal walk right by my class and go into the I guess traditional third grade class. And I was like, hmm, that was really strange. Like I went to talk to, I said, you're in the wrong class, I believe. That class too full. And I'm looking in there, I'm counting that it's like 25. It should not be that big. My class has only got like 16, 17. Why don't you come in with me? And it was kind of funny that in that state that I didn't know it then, but knowing now that they had that class for maybe the people who wasn't going to be that good or wasn't that the high achieving. Let's put them with some second graders or something like that, or you're late to the party. Let's put you in with a new teacher. She was a new teacher also, second year teacher, and it wound up being by January probably most likely. I was co-teaching, so
Oh
I
wow.
was teaching the second graders and helping third graders because I was doing my work so fast. And so I
Mhm.
was co-teaching the class right along with my teacher. It was two of us actually. It was another young black lady, black girl, who also did the same thing a little bit too. And
Mhm.
so we would do that. And it was so funny that I mean we kind of helped that teacher go through her second year, first year in Texas teaching, second year teaching overall. And so that's a funny but true story. And that's me seeing it clear as day of people deciding who should learn or how they should learn and where should we put our resources behind. So
Okay.
yes.
So, what inspired you to pursue chemistry at Langston University?
Oh wow. Okay, here we go. So now going deeper into it. So Langston University was a blessing to me because my football. So I became my first love was soccer, and that changed the game because my coach was like, "Man, you strong. You need to be out on this football field." And so I first loved soccer first at T.W. Brown, a school my father also went to too, and so went from there to Kimball, and football just became one of my things. I made varsity as a sophomore at a 5A high school in Dallas, Texas, big large high school in the biggest district. Well, not biggest, one of the best sports producer districts in Texas. In those times, we had Carter High School, which they made a movie called Carter High. Those are rivals.
Mhm.
Okay, and we're Kimball Knights and they're CC, so we're KK, they're CC. And so doing that, I had teachers who were pouring into me, but it was a weird pouring into. It was really weird. It was like because they had like a mindset like, okay, where's the value at? And we gotta. It was tell you the truth. It was an example of talented tenth. So the talented tenth, I wasn't a part of the talented tenth, and that didn't really bother me too much. I knew that I was different,
Uh-huh.
but there was something going on. And so I actually I took chemistry 2 AP, which was a very challenging course. Great teacher named Miss Ross, who wanted to become a Dr. Ross, matter of fact. And she saw me and she was like, what are you doing here? Didn't I tell you? Don't you be doing no more chemistry? And so I took her for chemistry 1 and just, it wasn't good. But I had a love for it. So she saw me and she set me down. She told me, sit over here. Sit right here. And she would say things like, don't you mess up nobody else learning. Don't you mess up nobody else. And so I would actually be doing labs on my own, kind of figuring it because I would not be on the pace with them. I would have my lab on time. It would be things that I had a lot of disconnection pretty much, not a lot of support. And so therefore, playing football, played all district, had a coach named Kenneth Miles, and he said, you need to go to Langston University. I said, what is a Langston? And where is it at? And so he jumped in a car. I saw him actually shake somebody's hand who wound up giving us gas money. So this man was doing this out of heart to say that these young black kids are going to see other places. And we got into a Lincoln car, a town car, and drove up from Dallas, Texas to Langston University, which is about 3.5 hour drive, 4 hour drive almost, and drove up, made it on campus. I seen this red dirt and this windy road in the country. And so therefore, I say, you know what? He believes in me. The school wants to do more. Historical Black College, they're very small. But then they had just produced a NFL player named Matthew Hatchett. And he also had another one also, I can't say his name, Noel Scarlett. He played for the, I believe, the Cowboys and Green Bay, I believe, in one more team also. I think the Vikings. And so like, hey, there's an opportunity here. That was one of my first experiences looking at self-efficacy. Because I kind of went there because I thought that vicariously, if those players could play here and go to the next level, well, what about me? So yes. Okay.
Well, so how did your mentors influence your academic journey?
Okay, so to go back again to the Dr. Ross, she wasn't a mentor. She was actually like an antagonist to me almost. But that antagonism is sometimes what a plant, what a seed needs. A seed needs so much water, so much soil and nutrients, but it also needs something to say you can't be in this spot forever. You can't be a seed forever. And so that right there is what a term, that will be taught me that I have to understand that there's pressures in life that I must get to. But these people have brought things to me, and now it was time for them things to come through me, I would say. So what came to me was Coach Miles, my head coach then, James Jones. Those mentors got me to the mindset. Doing chemistry was a semi-purpose accident. So I was in a building. They told me we've just stopped the history program. There's no more history program here for you.
Oh, wow.
I want to do history. I had some movie called Medicine Man, which is chemistry also, with Sean Connery. And I saw him walking in the woods, and I was doing kind of things. So I figured, well, man, I can do some history, be a high school football coach, and like do some things in the summertime every once in a while. So program shuts down, and I go to the wrong building, the Arts and Science building. Go up, and then I'm on the elevator with the Dean of Sciences and the Department Chair for Chemistry, Dr. John K. Coleman. Really cool alpha man too. Still working, not retired yet. And so he said, well, you should be a chemist. And I know this sounds really lame, but he said, you should be a chemist. and I kind of had never really heard nobody tell me where I should be.
Okay.
Never do it. Never. And that actually has transcended into my business now, but I had never really heard. I heard people say, do good,
Mhm.
but stop being bad. I heard people be quiet. I've heard all those terms, but the affirming of what I could do, I know people said it, but it just landed different from a black male voice who
Mhm.
gave a damn about me.
Right. So this was the beginning of you being that chemist that you are today.
I would say it was the catalytic factor. Catalytic factor. It was pieces off of me. Like I said, my grandmother they had brought things to me on my dad and mom's side. They had brought things to me, but it
Mhm.
was time for something to come through me. So I had
Right.
to be pushed into the next level.
Mhm. So what challenges did you face as a first generation learner?
Ooh, right out the gate. So I got through freshman year, did amazing work, and then became a sophomore and took chemistry one. Got my butt kicked every single day. Professor Arthur Stevens, he would look at me and be like, what's this guy doing here? And I didn't know how to quit. I truly, well, me being a stutterer naturally doesn't let me just stop because my words, every word I say in my mouth is challenged. Every single word. I have to still try to speak. And I even moved away from speaking into communicating. I don't want to talk no more. I want to communicate. And so I learned from the Heartland Chamber for the Toastmasters, and so that was something. So I took chemistry one. I'm past the drop date. Everything says drop. I don't know why to drop. I'm semi first generation. I don't know that it's a drop. I don't know what's about drop. It's my class. And so they come to me. I come and says, "You won't be able to be in this class and do this class this semester." I said, yes, I can. He said, no, I'm going to do a AW, administrative withdrawal. So he does administrative withdrawal on me. I don't know how he found out. And so I'm used to getting up at this time in the morning. So I continue getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning for this class. And I sit outside the door of the college class
Oh
with
wow.
people who are moving on past me, who are going to pass chemistry one.
Mhm.
And I feel no shame. I feel no hurt. And I just listen because the auditory has always been one of my skill sets of listening. So I even say now my superpower is becoming listening is my superpower, and I listen to the chemistry, and I start seeing the molecules moving back and forth and saying, "Oh, that shit bond with that. That's what's going. That's what I don't under. That's what." And so I had a chance just to be silent and get quiet and just hear him talk. Hear the students ask questions, be like, "That wasn't a good question." I'm sitting in my head trying to rewind it and writing my notes out. And here's the even crazy part: they would leave off, go to lab. I would come into the classroom and ask them, "Don't erase your notes, please, please, please. It's on chalkboard now." He would say, "What do you want, Daniel?" I said, "I don't know yet, but I'm here." So and he would leave notes on the board, and I would sit there and write and look through it. And I didn't understand it. I knew I didn't get it, but I knew that it was something there. And if I
Right.
just kept going, there was a quote my senior year when I graduated. It's not his quote, but Hollywood Henderson said it. He's a Langston alumni, also Hollywood Henderson for Dallas
Mhm.
Cowboys,
Yeah.
linebacker. He
Mhm.
said, when you find yourself going through hell, keep going. And that's Winston Churchill's quote, but he used it so perfectly at my graduation. And that's what I did. I went back and enrolled in chemistry one in the spring with Dr. John K. Coleman, made a B, and I've been rolling ever since.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So how did your fellowship at the National Institute of Drug Abuse shape your career?
Ooh, that was scary. That's scary. That's scary. Ooh, now, so going through this process, then I was engaged. I wasn't engaged, but I was becoming my first time being a husband then, and so I had these ideas of going down to Dallas. I said, if I go back to Dallas, I could do anything in Dallas because in my mind Dallas was the palace, was a place for everybody can do well at. And I was like, well, but Dallas doesn't have this, this, and this. And I was looking towards hopefully having, doing some things and getting married one day, those kind of things. And I still have my ties to Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I'm like, we got a grad chapter here. And so I wound up being, a quick story. So I didn't know I was graduating my senior year. So I graduated in 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
My advisor graduated me. He said, oh, no, you graduating. And so I actually, a friend of mine told me, hey, you on the list for graduation. Why won't you at practice day? I said, I'm not graduating. I'm a Sigma. I'm chilling. And so he said, no. Go check it out. I went to check it out. I went to him. Hey, I'm graduating. He's like, yeah, you got to take 2 summer classes and you're done. I'm like, okay, wasn't the goal, but you know what? Let's do it. And I look over, and near the trash can, or probably in the trash can, was some papers. Oh, yeah, just throw in the trash can. I said, you just go through all the stuff so fast. And he said, there's not really much in there. I said, let me look through it. And so I take this out of the trash and look through it, and it is a grant in there where you can write to be a extramural fellowship, post-baccalaureate.
Mm-hmm.
It's on paper. I have to go figure it out. I go figure out who has grants in the Oklahoma area. Boom. I figure that part out. Then I figure out where would I possibly like to go. I run across one of the best people ever, Dr. Ray Matsumoto. I don't know her at all. Zero. Never seen her name. Zero. I presented research. I've been on posters. I did these great things. No knowledge of her.
Mm-hmm.
I say, I'm gonna do research with her. So I go home and type on a typewriter, on a digital typewriter that kind of makes all the sounds and stuff, all that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Type it up. I say, what can I do to make her lab better? And so I had been saying this way back in time. What can we do to? And I had never wanted to work for somebody. I want to work with you. I can do more with you than I can for you. I still tell people that today. Try to work with people as much as you can. Because working for them creates a hierarchy that can get real weird sometimes. And so I apply. And it's a little bit of money now. I will say it's a small amount of money. It's $23,000 a year.
Okay.
Back in 2003. Okay, brother? And even I know that it's low. This low. But I said, I got a certain level of dog in me. And I think that self-efficacy, I would talk to my grandmother on my mom and dad's side. It was weird because they wouldn't ever talk to each other, but I would call one, then call the other, and get these two kind of life moments. One of more of the the academia side, and one more of the making things happen side. The on the ground side. Mm-hmm. And I would think about that a little bit. I would take that right there and merge it together. So that these two Black women saying 2 different things on 2 different phone calls, but I would put it together, and that kind of became one of my guidance of the way I approach things. My dad would say a few words to me, coach me. He taught me the T chart. He said, take your positives and your negatives. If you got more positive than negative, go forward. You got more negatives on the positives, leave it alone. And so, say correctly, leave it alone. But I'm from the country. I just call myself country and crazy a little bit. So I say, leave it alone, and leave it alone. Yeah. So that happened. And then she said, yes, because I then found out you got your own money. You helped me. Mm-hmm. So I went and found my own money. She had to spend nothing out of her pocket. She even got a stipend for it. I found out she even got a little bit for it. And so was able to become first author on a paper with a lady named Dr. Who became Dr. Erica Aya. Did that with them, wrote 2 more papers with them also, and learned about this publishing world. And that was a whole new world for me. I knew about research a little bit, but the publishing side, and that was doing some strange things. That was me doing research on finding sigma receptors in the brain that were activated during certain drug use, such as cocaine, HMB, GMB, and one more ecstasy, GHB. And so these different kind of chemicals, MMDA also, will be activated in the brain. And so I was so crazy to think that I could help stop drug abuse. I could stop a cocaine addiction by making a molecule. But it was a man doing this from Washington named I can't say his name right now, but he was a great scientist, and met him twice, once. And I said, if he can believe he can make molecules that will stop drug addiction, then why can't I? So I worked on that side, running those numbers, mice samples, brain samples, all these different samples, just doing a lot. And I just did a year of one class, which rolled me out. It was one of the hardest classes I ever took in my life. It was a college level. It was the class that first year medical students take. It was a 6-hour class.
Oh, wow.
Physiology class. Oh my God. I didn't know the body could do so much stuff. And I'm like, listen, but for example, I only took zoology. I only took one bio course in my undergrad because that's what my curriculum said. There was nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But the problem was because of coaching, my person who I landed with didn't know that, and they just put me in a course. I probably should have been in a different course, but that's all in hindsight. Yes. So there we go. And did that. Went to Puerto Rico for the first time, and they paid for it. And they do all this right here. And I'm like, okay, so you can just travel on these funds. That was National Institute to Drug Abuse. That's where I learned about the NIH. That's where I learned about HHS and all these different organizations. I'm like, Health Humane Services. I'm like, whoa, I found out that's where all this grant. I'm like, if we know now, we learn about this now. We're talking about billions of dollars of grants.
Right.
Like, okay, something's there. And there we go.
So, what role did peer-reviewed writing play in your development as a scholar?
Oh wow, man! I want to tell you, being a stutterer, we can get, I wouldn't say get mistreated, but we can get put in our place a lot. Where people don't want to hear you talk at certain points. They don't want to hear you fully elucidate your sentences, fully speak, because you just are sometimes frowned upon and those things. So you really have to be really, I say be bold, be brief, and then be quiet. And so you go, chemistry lives that lens. Because I chose chemistry because of self-efficacy of Dr. Coleman, but also because I know that if I know calcium, if I know that it's 22.9, if I know that nitrogen is 14.007, I can speak to anyone in the world. And they have to listen. Because these are truths that we make together, we've done together. So I believe that chemistry was my greatest end to communicate, because it was so finite and it was so accurate and it was so universal. We actually say carbon that way across the world. You go to space, you go to Pluto, you go to Mars, it's still carbon. And so that gave me the power to say, if I can speak chemistry, this language, I can do anything. And so, those kind of things. But to go back to your question necessarily, you saying, what again now at the end? Peer review. So your peer review taught me that a mantra of 5S right now. 5S stands for scientists seeking strategic, sustainable solutions. A mantra of 5S is that we communicate, we collaborate, we are chemists. And when we say that mantra, when you hear some kindergartners, when you got kindergartners in the room saying that, and when you got these students saying all these things, it could be just ground shaking, groundbreaking almost. But peer review taught me that you're going to write something, and somebody's going to say, great job, or somebody's going to say, horrible job. But in the end, they're going to say, what are you, try this, do this. Where are you doing this at? How are you thinking about this? And so I have a quote that I don't share with everyone because it's kind of a mean quote, and I don't believe everybody should practice it. But I'm gonna give you a quote, and it says, "When people put you in your place, let them." And part of that was T.D. Jakes. Bishop T.D. Jakes says this, and what he's saying is that in that place, there's going to be protection and provision for you. And if you're willing to understand that not everything is meant to hurt you, is that and it's not meant to be insidious and to break you into all these different things. If you let the words come to you and you are able to go through that moment and go to that place, there's space for you there. And so peer review tells you, hey, you didn't look at this ANOVA. You didn't do a bivariate regression regression analysis. You didn't do this. What about your IRB, your institutional review board? Did you go through that first? Did you get approval? So peer reviews give you a chance to do that, and it gives you a chance to communicate. And they don't know it, but they're collaborating with you too, because they're sparking, they're inciting something inside of you to say, yes, oh, okay, I didn't think about this. And people say the word humbling. I don't use the word humbling. It is level setting of what am I doing here? And then once you know what you're doing here, you can rise back up and write. Recently, I just took 14 months, but I'm now a National Science Foundation principal investigator for a $400,000 over 3-year grant. I'm paying out for it. Yes. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Mr. King. And so, but that was a process of someone ignoring me at a meeting, then me coming back to them, and to get me out of the face, they said, go look at this, go do this. They really did. They thought they was sending me away. They thought they was, as the Latino saying says, they tried to bury us, but they didn't know we were seeds. Yes. You told me
you're going to keep growing.
Yeah, and you thought I wasn't going to be able to understand or utilize or whatever it may be.
Right.
Guess what, baby? Oh, no. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I live in Kansas City right now, and I know ain't how we move. And so I learned that, okay, you put me in my place, and if I go to that place and just stop and get simple, there'll be protection for me and provision. And there we go. So that peer review does that. Then we went on to UT and did peer review. Was on 2 papers there under Dr. Richard Lee. He's the leading scientist in the chemical biologicals at St. Jude Research Hospital right now as we speak. He's amazing at his work he does. He's been grant funded over $100 million in the last 10, 15 years. Yes.
So can you tell us, through all of that, where did you get the resilience that you have? Because it seems like every time somebody tried to push you down, you kept going, or you would push back, or you would get up and keep going. Where did that resilience come from?
Okay. Ooh. It's going to be a long one. You find what's a long one? Because it comes a few times. So it comes first of all from a stuttering. So as a stutterer, I had an Aunt Bridget. I love my auntie. She would tell me, go write it down. You be quiet. I'm tired of hearing stuttering. Go write it down. And so I would go write what I had to say. And then so it comes from in football. It was like, okay, I couldn't be the captain because I couldn't say all the chants the right way. But I still became the captain because I couldn't say the chants the right way, but I could write up the plays. So you tell me to be quiet, and I go get busy somewhere else. So you put me in my place, I still become captain, and I still make all district in football. And so this resilience came from, I think my stutter is probably the best rationale for it. And for anyone listening, it's the challenges. Your challenges are speaking to you. They came to you. God gave it to you. And is your manifesto almost is to bring it through you. And I say that so much. And then I have speech I'm working on. Well, no, I'm ready to put into the classrooms and put into the graduations. We want to manifest it now. I want to be the Kimball High School graduation speaker. It's a 7-minute speech called "We're Not Hating on You, We're Waiting on You." And that means that there's things inside of you that have to come to life, have to be pushed and pulled and entangled with. But we're doing this, and you think it's hate, but it's not. It's waiting for the seeds to come out of you, the amazingness to come out of you. But you need certain pressure put on you. And so, with a tree like this, with a tree that's grown in the natural setting outside. It grows way differently, immensely differently than one that grows inside of a greenhouse. Because of the wind and the external factors, the rain, the drought, all these different ways, the tree, when it blows during the wind, it will shift and it will teach itself to grow stronger roots on the right side. And then when it levels back up, it teaches itself to produce more sales of wood on this side to protect itself from the future winds and the future challenges. And so I think that my resilience has came because I've been grown outside. I've been outside a long time and engaging with peers my age, adult men, all the different kind of ways, engaging with life, engaging with racism. When I didn't even know it was racism. I just thought they didn't like me in particular. But I found out, oh no, that was probably racism. And so the resilience was grown through those experiences of play, of struggling with people, of doing hard things as a young kid. And that's why I always say I wasn't misfortunate or disfortunate at all. Playing outside and being engaged with others and riding a city bus in Dallas. And all those things were just as part of my resilience to say, I'm going to do something and it's going to happen. And so I would say those moments were just challenging moments. I wanted to go into I got my second master's, had 3 kids then. 4th child came later. And then first wife was pharmacy school, finishing pharmacy school. And so I pulled myself back and didn't work on my doctorate and worked with her to get her through pharmacy school. That was beautiful. That was me. But I practice now called we over me. That's a we over me mindset where I take the we and then make sure that I never try to make myself more important than the we. And so I think those kind of things have built my resilience of now as being in my marriage now, a father of 7 kids total, 7 great humans, matter of fact, great humans, and a grandfather. I became a grandfather this year. And so that's kind of fun. Thank you. Yeah, little baby Ari, she be crying on me. I need some help because she be crying sometimes on me. And so, but yeah, we'll figure it out. But to me, she's not crying. She's just speaking the language that she speaks. And so I listen. I try to figure out what I can do to make it better. But yeah, so that's resilience. It just came from, to me, no was never no. It was just not yet.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So let's talk about your work as a chemistry professor.
Okay. Yes.
Can you tell us, how do you bring the constructive theory of learning into your classroom?
So second master's was about science teaching, and so I was in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm telling you, everyone know how to teach. The Delta, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, and Chicago. Them 3 places where if you want to learn how to teach somebody, how to reach them, you got to first reach them first. Reach somebody, then teach them. You have to reach them twice. You want to reach somebody. And so it was there where I began to understand this. I began to learn theory of teaching. So these are things that I saw my teachers do. I had a great guy named Mr. Principal Eugene Young. He's the alpha man. And he was really, in truth, he was kind of gaslighting us. He was telling us we could do all these amazing things. He was telling us, he was just with our heads up real high, but he was telling the truth. I would put my graduating class up of 99 Kimball High School against any graduating class in Dallas, Texas.
Right.
And we would because we were just thought that we were gonna do good things,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just a mindset in the building, and so that was part of that mindset that led over into me learning about constructivism and the theory behind how everything that you have inside of you,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes your baseline, your foundational knowledge built, and
Mm-hmm.
you build a person up using those foundations, and you take those foundations and you scaffold it and you grow it up with them.
Oh
And,
wow.
yeah, and you
That's an
use that.
interesting concept.
Yeah, so you use this. Oh, you don't understand chemistry, but you understand use of perms on your hair. You don't understand chemistry, but you understand that when the ice that your tires go down when the
Right.
weather changes. You don't understand chemistry, so I use what's naturally built inside of you,
Uh-huh.
and then we create this cyclic effect of failure is never final,
Mm-hmm.
nor is it forever, but it is feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And the feedback loop is what feeds you because I know this because of this. And as you spread it open, you begin to just go up, and you want to go up, up, and up. And your mind will climb the Bloom's taxonomy. So I really have taken students who are 52 years old,
Mm-hmm.
been through been through hell, had the husband, the ex-husband, steal all the money from their account, take their car, leave them with mortgages sitting on top of them, didn't know what to do. And so I'm going to school and came to my class.
Oh wow.
And when you come to my class, I had to learn then that this isn't just this isn't this isn't hard work. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna do heart work. I'm gonna work the heart, and the heart don't stop pumping. As long as you got life in you, as long as you got some try in you, you're gonna keep pumping. And if you keep showing up, greatness happens. And so the word chemistry, I'm because of my stutter, I have to look at words a little bit longer to say, oh, can I say that? Or should I say a word before it? All those kind of things. Seriously, I know people don't, if people knew how much it takes to be a stutterer, they would think a little bit different about it. Because you have to actually look at words and say, I don't know about that one. My T's and my J's don't come out all the time. You know what I mean? So we have to modulate. And so I look at the word chemistry, and we all see the word, the letters C, H, E, M, I, S. But then I see my mind sees it differently. I see chemistry becomes chemistry because TRY.
Mm-hmm.
TRY of chemistry says I have to try. And in the chemistry classroom, in the college level, you're trying with me, and you're gonna try every time you got a chance, you're gonna try and give your best effort. And when you get real good at it, the I even becomes a capital I, and it's chemist I try. Okay. And so those were mindsets. So I read papers and learned, and I began in 2013. I taught college chemistry, and I knew that I couldn't be those people of the past where they would say, "I got mine, now you got to get yours," or "Better luck next time, suck it up, Buttercup." All those are cruel things people do in the class. I knew that wasn't me. Now it took time to get good and to learn empathy.
Mm-hmm.
I had to learn empathy, really did. And so I began to use the constructivist theory to begin to intertwine life and emotion. I learned about the flight, fight, or freeze, or fawn, and learned that all these things are happening to a person's mind. The
Yep.
moment they enroll in a class, the moment they come to the building, everything is happening. So every touch point had to be a touch point of care. It had to have a positive emotion tied to it. It had to be alluring. So I began to work on a thing called the inclusive syllabus, where I
Mm-hmm.
use the terms "we." I give joyful pictures. I put things in wording, but also in symbols. And so I create a space where you want to be involved with this. And that's what the term network. And I like to network. But I
Mm-hmm.
learned that in my blessing of teaching 110 courses, and I got 2 coming in the spring. Three in 113 courses. Is we're going to do not network, we're going to do nest work.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, a nest is a safe, affirming place for you to grow. And we all know in the end, what are you doing in this, King, Mr. King?
And the
You
next,
gotta do what?
you got to come together and grow.
Grow. And then in time, you gotta do what?
Just get better.
You gotta leave, yes. You get so good one day that you gotta go somewhere else. So I'm always thinking about my students of where you're going next. Where can I be useful to you? Where can I be valuable to your next process? So I'm doing the next work. And I've been blessed to have PhD students, MDs. I have my first student right now. She's in our MD program at Kansas University, and she is what's that called? She was my first student who's in the doctoral program. Who I taught chemistry 1, chemistry 2, organic chemistry 1, and organic chemistry 2. I taught her 4 for 2 years. So she's like my golden child. So a shout out to Carly right there. And I'm blessed to have her doing that. And so doing that kind of work right there. Now, as my PhD work took off, I began to shift a little bit toward more self-efficacy. And so that what gets me into a different realm of becoming more of a pragmatist a little bit, which is kind of challenging for me, but I'm growing in that space.
Well, we got a couple of comments here.
Oh, wow, okay.
And this one I'm gonna put it on the screen.
Are you doing this? So also, I also was blessed to do. I wrote a chemistry textbook. Not to I have nothing against McMillan. I love him. McGraw-Hill, love him. But this is once again when people put you in your place, let them. I did a practice run with Singate. Singate said, "We don't like it that much." They paid me a small amount to go away. And then a person from that company left that company, went to a different company, and said, "Hey, we like you. Keep on writing." And I wrote my own chemistry textbook. We've had over 300 sales, and we're getting better every year. Going to be in multiple colleges by 26 fall. We'll be in 2 more colleges across the Midwest, and hopefully going down to Texas soon. And so that book has been called Pathways to Allied Health. And I believe in a pathway. How can I make a pathway for you? Let me not be so many spaces, people are gatekeepers. And so I don't want to be a gatekeeper at all. Never. I want to make a path for you. And you just ride me and push me, and I'll push you. We're going to get through together. Yes, and I saw facts on there. Yes, definitely facts. Oh, facts about this way of life is as deep. Thank you for those words.
That's from Alan Branch.
Oh yeah. That's my father. Yes. Oh yes, my dad. Yeah. Yes. I'm blessed to be his firstborn. Both sides, mama and daddy firstborn, and he's speaking life into things. He's been coaching me up lately. Last week he got down my butt a little bit, but he'll be all right with it. I'm be all right. But yeah, coaching me up on this entrepreneurship space. Yes.
And Beauty Petty says, "Congratulations, cousin."
Yes, she was a vital part of my third phase of life. She helped with the with our wedding. And she's from Kansas City, doing great work in Nashville. I mean, great mindset. I mean, debater, amazing debater, great with numbers, can do anything. And so, yes, congratulations. I'm so happy for her pouring into me and being valuable to what we're doing, especially for my wife and what she's been going through as being a elected official and really being up on the gun, not the gun, being up on the pressure of a quote I use that says, "I never want to be right, but I need for us to get it right."
Yes.
And so that's definitely something right there that's true. And my wife, Melissa, she's been trying to help us get it right for a while in this space we call Kansas City.
And Alan Branch again says, "Trophy yellow smiling."
Oh, he raising the trophy. Yeah, that's the victory lap. The victory lap. Victory is ours, man. We're gonna keep on getting better at this thing called life. I appreciate your words so much.
And Malone says, "Blessings, bro."
Oh yes, so great story on this right here. So Malone is probably Malone is probably I'm gonna give him number 1, but he's probably number 1, 2, or 3. Somewhere a top 3 in my life of confidence. of
Mhm.
showing up and stoicism. I met him as a junior. I met him as a junior on Langston University camp. He's from Pine Bluff, from the street. I don't like saying the streets of Chicago. He wasn't on the streets. He didn't live on the streets. He had a great mama, great daddy. But he's from the heart of Chicago, and he did great things in football, basketball, and baseball. Went on to play college level, and then still wanted to pursue his life, and he did some great things. But he was one of the motivating factors of why I just kept going to class. He wouldn't let me hang out and sit out on the signal table too long. You know, he wouldn't let me do too much. He kept me out of some good trouble. Got me in some good trouble. Kept me out of some bad trouble. Excuse me. And so we had some great emotions with him. And then later in life, we've been able to be a party to the life forever. It seemed like, and now he's doing some great work with his. So he was able to get a heart transplant and also a kidney transplant due to his congenital heart. But he's working in the city of Chicago with young. He's probably motivating more females than men and young boys because they just see him and he keeps showing up. I'm talking about a man that was on the table dead, and he has a resilience to say no. I belong here. My space in my this is my space. This is my place, and my face needs to be here. And he's doing a great fundraiser, a great basketball tournament in Chicago in the third weekend of January. And I really want to give him some love on that. I make sure that I link him up with my father about that too. You know, if there are any connections in the Chicagoland area, let's figure out ways to make sure we pour into that. This is the first aid for kidney failure, for kidney disease. And if we don't know it, so a prime example, here's the reason why I put parts of my book in about the globular filtration rate of our stomach. So I don't want to go too deep and hit my spirit a little bit too. So I may start stuttering a little bit because when I do that, when I get a little, and so, oh man, Dr. Uche Blackstock, amazing writer. She exposed a little bit more, but it's been going on for over 30 years. The black GFR is higher. Excuse me. The rate of the cut point is higher for a black person than it is for a non-black person. And there's even some bias in there for Latinos. And this affects where they put you on the kidney transplant list, this score. And because they believe that certain races had certain things going on with their bodies, I suppose, they deserve to get a higher score, but makes you a higher score, which makes you very low on the transplant list.
Right. The higher that score means that you don't need the transplant.
There you go. And then, not just that, they're more antagonistic about why your numbers are not moving. So they begin to write little notes. I've seen them. They write notes in your file saying you're recalcitrant, you're aggressive, you're not doing your stuff. Your eyes was bloodshot, so you probably was drinking alcohol before you came to the appointment. They begin to say these things, and that leads to you not being able to be as high on the kidney list. Now, there are some people who may have their challenges, but that's not the majority of these black men and women who need kidney transplants. And so to put you into the pay system, hope I'm not preaching too much now, put you into the pay system of dialysis, put you in a prison of dialysis, they put you on this right here list, and they either you pay to live or we see you later on. I hope you make it to where you're going later on. That's what I'm getting caught up in this vicious, I call it a death cycle instead of a life cycle. A death cycle of you either pay to live and you're on this situation versus on this situation. And if you make it to the list, if you do get high enough, well, I hope you're ready. We'll see how it goes. And it does happen now. I will say it does happen. But that was done. And they just started fixing that the last 12 years. Hospitals. Yes.
I have another comment for you here that's in the chat. And this is from Melissa Robinson. It says, great discussion, great stories. Thanks for lifting everyone you connect with.
Oh, but that's the goal. That's the goal. I'm we over me. I know it's a gang sign, whatever you want to say. It's we over me every time. Every time I show up, if I can't say something good about you, I'm gonna pull you to the side, tighten your shoelaces up a little bit. I want to see you run. I want to see you take off because I just know that people have did it for me, and the only thing is people haven't did it for me also, and it's kind of what I'm getting to be a little weird with things as an entrepreneur
Mhm,
because I'm like I never expect for it to come back, but I never expect for you to turn your back.
mhm,
And so there are some people I'm like, I wonder what's going on with that. I'm not expecting for you to do anything for me. I'm not really very good at being transactional. It don't really work for me. I do a gig or something like that, but I'm more transformational. I
mhm,
want to see this evolve and grow. I'm helping. I want to help mentor this young guy named Charles. Man, Charles got energy, got spunk. He want to go do. He want to go buy a real cool hoodie. I might even give me a hoodie also. And I was just brought. I was what comes to me must come through me. I was brought to him by a professor, colleague, and I'm saying, you know what? I don't know how I can be valuable, but these are small. I call them micro affirmations.
mhm,
If I can do some small micro affirmations and say, hey, we need you. Hey, let's keep going. Even sometimes be a little tough on you, be like, hey, boy, don't do it no more. And it may sound like that, but it's coming from a good place. It's not a bad place. And I was just leaving an event last night with UMKC. That was amazing. I have a mentee over there. He's in his second year in Kansas, second year in college, and he wants to be a nurse, and he's growing, developing. I want to be a part of that right there. So that's what the Men of Character Academy at UMKC, which is University of Missouri, Kansas City. And so I want to be valuable to them any way I can. The same way I'm valuable at MCC as a chemistry professor, but also as a grant writer and PI, but also as the one of the advisors for uh, MOC3, which is a national program called Men of Character, Courage, and Culture. And so with that, we are supporting that. So I want to see that happen. I don't have a band. I have a bandwidth personally, but they can't pay me for it. To get somebody right in the late at night to write a grant that will really take this program off and see these young men because I'm seeing some stuff in these young men's eyes. This male malaise is happening, and they just kind of just getting quiet, and I just don't. I think if we don't start responding to these young men soon, it ain't gonna go well.
mhm.
We're gonna see a large population of men that just you know didn't didn't if I say I'll say chose the mildew instead of barbecue. And so they just sit back and not do
Well, we won't let them fall by the wayside because I think
it.
as long as people are doing the work like what you do, that's got serious impact on communities, and there are other platforms like this one. I'm sure that there are going to be ways that we can keep that from happening, but I definitely understand where you're going with that because there are a lot of them that seems like they're falling by the wayside.
Yeah, thank you. I'm blessed to have three in my home, well, not my home, but under my grace, I suppose, as being a father of a 21-year-old, 17-year-old, and 11-year-old. So I'm trying to be valuable to them the best way I can. I think one way we can do that, and it's just bias, is to love black women in front of them, vividly, explicitly, intently, whatever you can put Lee on. Yes. Okay. I don't know how I can keep saying Lee words intently purposely, what you want to say. But to do that, I think that then lets them know that it's all right. And it's a form of self-efficacy again. Because self-efficacy means you have mastery experiences, you have vicarious experiences, you have social or verbal persuasion. And your fourth component is the physiological factor. How do you feel when you're doing it? And we can show these young men that we love black women and we care about them and we're gonna provide and protect for them. I think that's gonna be valuable in that space too. But it's a lot of people doing everything. I will say that Kappa's got Kappa Guy right. The Omegas are doing great work. I mean, the Masons are doing good stuff. 100 black men, not a part of them, But I'm coming, y'all. I'm coming one day. Those are doing great stuff. And I will tell you, it used to be some good football coaches, but that's getting weird. Too much money in it. And I'll be as simple as said. I used to be in the game. I was a hell of an offensive coordinator, defensive line coach, and offensive line coach. I can coach it up right now. I can put it on the board and make it happen fast. But if some of these guys start getting in the game for the money and for the likes, yeah, no, they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna make it. You can't like no young black man. You got to love him. All that liking, you can move on, buddy. You got from around me with that liking. You have to love these young boys.
What strategies do you engage students with when it comes to an equity lens?
Oh, okay. So I'm trying to give a program to Reach Healthcare Foundation, and it's a mindset around crucial conversations. And so I created a program called Science Friday. I'm writing curriculum up, and it's through, I'm a for-profit business, but I'm going to partner with a great nonprofit who wants to put the work in, and we're going to have crucial conversations that I have in my classroom already of just having people go into a moment. So here's a simple thing: is there's not many Aldis that sell Similac or Infinite.
Lord, wait. I'm sorry. I just got a visual when you said Similac and Infamy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay. So now, if you don't have a grocery store near you, if you're on what they call a food desert or sometimes a food swamp, when you have the wrong kind of food, it's a swamp. So food swamps and food deserts. My new son, Jeffrey, wrote a whole piece about it. It's amazing mind. That boy gonna be good. I'm telling you, it's gonna be good. And so he wrote a piece about food swamps versus food deserts, and this space that people are in. So if you have a baby, a newborn, and you're not breastfeeding, where are you finding these foods or this Enfamil or this Similac from? Only certain grocery stores sell this. And so we bring in, so why is that a big deal? We'll take it back to folic acid. So that's chemistry. So nobody in the world can tell me the folic acid molecule is not chemistry, B12, and all these great vitamins, and all these great proteins that are found. So you can't move that off of chemistry. You can't DEI that, because truly DEI today means what I'm seeing, the people who are trying to stop it who really didn't earn it. They're in some of their roles and they didn't earn it. And so, and they don't understand what folic acid is, so they get mad. And so folic acid is needed for the vital strength and growth of a child in those early phases of life. It will stave off many infections, many mental capacity, all these things. Well, if you don't have a grocery store, you don't have those kind of things. So we talk about folic acid and the protein and the early childbirth and those things as chemistry layer of it, what chemicals are needed to feed this child. And then I'll say, where are they at? So guess what we do? We then put a map up, a national U.S. map that's made by the federal government, and we see where's WIC being most used there by the counties. Women, infant, and children. So boom, now I'm correlating to, oh, I live there. We don't have a lot of WIC use. Why not? Is it because people are not enrolling, or they don't have grocery stores to go to? And if you know you don't have folic acid, then what are you saying about this baby? What are you really saying with this baby? And that even leads me to understand when you had all these tax abatements that we get in these certain urban cores to say, hey, come build your stuff here, and we'll give you a tax abatement. But what I'm noticing is your tax abatements are taxing my babies. And they don't have the tools and the resources in our community that they're supposed to have, because these stores can't be built or can't be made here or can't thrive here because they have to have a certain amount of income and cash flow. And so that's how I bring in these components about that piece. And that's normally done through early on in the syllabus. I use the student learning outcomes, and they are ubiquitous across every chemistry class. So everybody can do this right here. And the way I approach it, I take a molecule and I bring that molecule to life. And so I take a product and I find the people. And what's the intersectionality of this molecule in mankind? That's how I do it.
Let's talk a little bit about your life as an entrepreneur.
Oh man, that's scary.
What inspired you to launch 5S LLC?
I'm definitely sure. I mean, Melissa's a big factor. My wife's a big factor of it. The ecosystem. I want to make listening my superpower,
Mhm.
and so the ecosystem. I got quiet. Wrote a chemistry textbook. When people put me in my place, I let them put me in my place so I could sit there and look. And what I learned was you pushed me back, and then you took a hit. You took the hit, and you taught me that. Oh, I don't want to be over there. I'm going over here. And so I the shifts and stuff like that. And so the business I came to me, uh, this is gonna make some people mad. I'm fine with it. My grandma, my kid's grandma used to always bad talk about certain school districts, all that kind of stuff. And she used to just talk about. I'm like, what's going on? Why she talk about so bad about them for? And it was challenges. And she was a school teacher. And then I got into the knowledge of things. I ran across a guy named Cornell Ellis. He started a group called Brothers Liberating Our Community. And that's when I said, oh, man, this is financial literacy and upward economic mobility. And he's preaching this, and he's talking, and he's fighting for every dollar. I mean, he'd take $6 and go make 600 with it. I said, man, that black man can work that hard. I'm not going to sit on the sidelines and watch him. And so the warrior inside me came out and said, I'm going to work. And we're going to do advisory. We're going to read grants, critique grants, and write grants. And we even moved into working with small nonprofits to build their grant writing and their research skills up. So then advocacy, and we're going to be engaging in this in these things of writing a piece called Space, Place, and Face of Black STEM in Kansas City, microaggressions, Black fatigue, but also the aspirations. And looking at programs like we had at these upward bound and way these things work and different ways we can bring in things that will increase this workforce and become a life force for people. Then science literacy. And so other business, we got about 15% through the grant writing phase of advisory. We have about 17% on the advocacy side. I work with the Urban Institute, with the Third District. I work with the Federal Reserve to grow that skill set up with economic mobility, being a researcher, being a qualitative researcher, and then science literacy, which is about 6 to 8% of the business, is a program that's really just lighting it up in Kansas City. I just took a call today. Scary. This is real scary. I just took a call today. Person that I worked for $24 an hour with 3 years ago. I went to go work there with a we mindset. I said, I heard that LGBTQ youth were being mistreated in the foster care system. And I said, hell no, I ain't expecting not on my watch, not around Daniel. You can do a lot of things around Daniel, but you won't be doing that. And so I went and worked for $24 an hour and was a behavioral coach, and just kind of helping these people and being like a coach to the parent too about how you can best love and logic using that kind of thing with kids and trying to motivate them to be a part of the moment. And I ran across, one student who was put into a situation with sexuality, and I coached him and talked him up and worked that program. 2 years later, he called me. He's in a different spot. He called me today and said, "Hey, I want 2 of them programs." I said, "2 of what?" He said, "Cool Kids Chemistry."
Oh, wow.
And I said, "Okay, you heard about it?" He said, "Yes, and we need that." And so the ecosystem told me this, that people needed this engagement. So I went and talked to people, and they was like, we don't know, because a lot of people, Kansas City a little different, Kansas City a little different. I won't lie to you, it's a little different. They a little different. In Memphis, it's like a my cousin mindset. It's my cousin. So he can do well because he's my cousin. In Dallas, it's a mindset around my clique. You from my high school, you from my clique. In Kansas City, it's more like, it's mine. What you want? And so it's a my mindset of more like, I've got mine. Now, if you can get something, that's fine. wouldn't say a fixed mindset necessarily, but it's a mind mindset, and that kind of comes from the history of Kansas City a little bit too, of it being one of the biggest cities that are still ran not even their own police force, ran by the governor. One of the, I mean, it just has a lot of history, a federal job history, and then just a lot, you know what I mean? But so
Yeah, but
the ecosystem
remember,
told
Charlie
me,
Parker is from Kansas City.
say it again?
Charlie Parker.
Yes. Oh yeah, he's a king. He's
Yeah,
the king of he's the king of Kansas City. I almost said blues or jazz. I'm a
yeah,
blues president. I'm from the
yeah,
South. Okay, I
yeah.
like some. I like some. I like some. You know, it's too many dishes in my sink. I like some of that right there. I like some of what I'm saying. If you think you're lonely now, all those beautiful things. But yes, and so the ecosystem said kids need affirming.
Mhm.
These young minds and these adults too. I can support adults with grant review and all that kind of things. Say, hey, the science and this right here, there's gaps right here, and so they need affirming. And so micro affirmations and science literacy and cool kids chemistry is empowering. They write their name where it says chemist.
Mhm.
I don't say name. You're a chemist, and here
Mhm.
in this room today, no matter if you're 4 years old or 17 years old, you are a chemist.
Mhm.
I've even had 30 years olds in the room. You're a chemist. And so that was the ecosystem talking to me, been able to secure about 7 contracts for Cool Kids Chemistry in different settings. I've been blessed recently. Amazing thing came through because once again, walking the process down. I'm a school board chair for a charter school and was growing and listening to someone, and they coached me up real well, Boys and Girls Club. And then 12 months later, I get in front of, I'm in the right situation and I communicate.
Mhm.
And she decides to collaborate. I think she doesn't even flinch almost. Miss Wilson didn't flinch. And she said yes. And we sat and walked it out, hit the paperwork, made it make sense, make it make sense. And now I'm serving Boys and Girls Clubs, 2 of those, and it's beautiful. I won't lie to you. I, I don't know what's going on, but something's going on. It's happening, and I moved from the suburb 2.5 years ago for a reason. I leave it alone right now, but I knew that I had to make sure they know that the ice is cold right here. It's good. It's good things right here. And so one of my sites is less than a mile from my house, and so I'm seeing you. I wear a white coat to the grocery store sometimes. I wear a white coat to the gas station. That's letting them know I'm right here with you. It's almost like the 1930s and 20. Remember how they Black Wall Street almost? How you can see this person knows doctor. It's like I'm trying to not make that again. That can never happen again. I understand that. But there's nothing wrong with saying, I see you and you see me. And so actually, Dr. Rodney Smith had told me Sawu Bono is that I see you. And because I see you, you see me. And
Right.
so we see each other. Yes.
Before I go to the next question, I've got 2 other comments here
Oh, yes. Yeah. Go.
that's here in the chat, and
Okay.
this was from Melissa Robinson again. She
Okay.
agreed with you about the taxing our baby.
Oh yeah, she's been fighting for that for a while. It can't last forever. Oh, and
Beauty Petty says that's amazing.
oh yeah, she's right. I mean, the work she does also is very empowering. She's a financial literacy. She understands how people can utilize different resources to elevate themselves, and she's in that space on a daily basis. And so I know what she does is amazing,
Mhm.
and what Melissa's doing is amazing, and what I'm doing is just trying to be, let's trying to be a little better. My chancellor, Dr. Beatty, says 1% better. And I take that and I even write it on stuff. I write hashtag better KC. Because
Mhm.
everybody want to be the best, everybody want to be the GOAT and all that stuff. I just
Mhm.
want to be better.
Mhm.
And definitely better before I ever be bitter.
Mhm.
So if you bad talk me, if you shoot me down, if you laugh at me on purpose, if you play Kansas City nice on me and don't listen to what I'm saying on purpose and ignore me, all those kind of things, I'm gonna leave better. I ain't leaving no room bitter. I can promise you that. So business had taught me that how to function in these environments and to keep pushing and getting better and serve people. Like I said, when it's all said and done, see all, serve all, and keep showing up.
And so we had also discussed Black History because we do Black
Oh,
History
yes,
365.
yes, yes,
And I asked you who was the most influential person in your life and career, and you told me that was Percy Julian.
yes, yes.
So, can you tell us when did you first learn about Percy Julian and what impact did that discovery have on you as a young scholar?
So I want to say Jet or Ebony magazine, and they're talking about this black man, and as you can see on my LinkedIn, I'm wearing a white coat.
Mm-hmm.
He has some pictures where he had on a shirt and tie, but there are some pictures where he's in the lab with a white coat on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew something was there, but it was so many years ago because he was born in 1899. So it's like, this is like before my great grandma.
Right.
And he gets his doctorate in 1930s, maybe somewhere around there, 40s maybe. And so I learned later on that he actually was one of the leaders in progesterone, getting that all figured out and ways to get it from soybean oil. So taking my frat brother George Washington Carver, Dr. George Washington Carver's knowledge of soybean, him learning over 118 ways to use soybean, he then makes progesterone from it. He's an Omega man too, Omega man. And he works on cortisone, but then when people put you in your place, let them. They wouldn't let him work on more steroid stuff. So he went to Mexico. This man went to Mexico and started his own lab using horse urine and things of that nature to get these cortisol, these steroids we later used for birth control pills and used for arthritis. Well, guess what? My grandmother had rheumatoid arthritis. I saw the pain she was in. She retired. She was, I won't say forced, but it was a shaky principle that kind of pushed her out of education back in the 80s. She retired from that due to her rheumatoid arthritis. He worked on his medications. And then he sold his company for $2.2 million. I don't know. I bet now that money is like $100 million, maybe, something like that. He sold it for $2.2 million to something we still say right now. We don't say his business anymore. We don't say the Julian Lab anymore. But we have heard of GlaxoSmithKline.
GlaxoSmithKline.
In those days, it was just called SmithKline in French. So their legacy lives on, and they were able to make billions of dollars based off this black man's great sense. But he was a businessman. That's part of it sometimes. You have to, it's time to sell. And so he sold his business at that price. But in those times, it was about $2.2 million. For him to go into a room and negotiate that with a large company that was international, I mean, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So, can you tell us, Percy Julian overcame immense barriers in education.
Oh, yes.
How does his perseverance inspire your own path in chemistry?
Oh, that's it right there. I mean, his perseverance. Another quote I use. I gave a lot of quotes today. I apologize, but now I got these quotes in my head. I can't do it. This Kansas City hat just is getting me motivated. Zebras don't change stripes; they change watering holes. Yeah, I got you, Charles.
I heard that a lot as a little boy.
What's that?
I heard that a lot as a little boy.
Yes, zebras don't change stripes, but they change watering holes. And he changed his watering hole. He said, "You want me behind this lab making all y'all doing right here? You won't let me do my work." He understood the power of the yam. They wouldn't let him grow yams. They wouldn't let him do his work. So guess what? I'm gonna keep on doing this. I'm gonna stack up where I'm supposed to stack up. I'm gonna go where there's a space and a place for my face, and make this amazing company. And so that resilience, it bleeds into 5S right now, is that yes, I may not make it in every room. Everybody can't deal with a country crazy chemist. But I love it. Papa, I love you. And even if you say no, it means not yet. And even, I'm saying, I'm not going to go through, I'm going to grow through it. And so that resilience. So I really believe the whole growth mindset and those kind of things. I've been doing that since I was a kid. My grandma on my mom's side forced us to do that. She literally forced us to think like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Security guards react, Marines respond. You know, it's a
Yep.
mindset about the way you're going to take things in and the way you bring it to your head, when you think stuff through. And so, yes, I really believe if my grandma Judy would have had more chance to be out here, she would have been motivational speaker, most powerful black woman in America. Her brain was just that powerful. And so for her to bring that to me, what's going to come through me?
What aspects of Julian's groundbreaking work in medicinal chemistry resonate most with your research and teaching?
Okay, so his aspect is that he understood molecules. So in my course, when I was writing chapter 13 in the book about steroids and things, I had to think about the way we approach this right here. And there's so many people who have never seen testosterone versus estrogen. Okay, and I look into that book when I start looking in the science of the molecules that make it, and they learn these ketones and these alcohols, and they learn the aromatic ring. And when you look at this molecule, I show women and men of why the, the estrogen is so powerful and why it's needed and why it's life. It has a ring that we call in chemistry a protective ring. It's hard to react on this ring. This ring is foundational to what takes place here. If you bother this ring, you mess this whole thing up. So if you protect this ring, if this ring protects the molecule, I think about how that's what our women are doing, are protecting life and protecting the world through estrogen and through a molecule. So I use his thought process, the way he approached things, by saying he went as far as to look for certain kind of horses that produced this at a higher level. The more protective horses had higher uh, um, steroids in the urine,
Mhm,
especially when they were pregnant.
mhm.
So that mindset of knowing that the percentage is higher of this molecule because of its factors. So I took that in my classroom of how do we get through this room, how do we get through this space, and knowing that person Julian was resilient. And when people said no, he said, where do I go? I'm going. I got to go here. So I know that when you come to my room, we're not networking, we're nest working. I know you got to go somewhere, and I have a place. It's gonna be a place for you. Now I may have to go make it sometimes. I'm going to write a grant pretty soon from Kaufman and the Community Capital Fund to go say, hey, I need to go train community chemists to get them into these jobs, into these into these milk factories and these Belafonte and these uh, my favorite. I'm a little biased, um, but the ice cream places and all this kind of stuff, working in these fields to grow science out. And so I take his work and say, you know, a failure is never final, nor is it forever, but it is feedback. And so I just keep building off of that and keep showing love and being authentically me. You know, I like to laugh and joke. I'm too playful, probably a little too playful, but it just keeps me vibrant, keeps me uh, understand what the youth are talking about. You talking about 6'7", so I make 6'7" jokes in the classroom and stuff like that. But his work is, I think he needs to be recognized. They try to write they have a small documentary about him, but no official movie that should be a full length movie. It's a short, um, what's that called, like a bio a little bit, but it's
A
not
little
official.
30-minute documentary like they
Yeah,
do on
yeah,
PBS.
like that, yeah. Now they did yeah. So and he'll get his in time, and maybe that's part of what this journey is going to be when I move towards uh, getting a fractional CEO in 27, a fractional CIO, a fractional CFO, and be part of their plan is how do we build this out into making this mini short movie first, and then build out to a full length movie, and it'll be out of 5S, scientists seeking strategic sustainable solutions. There we go.
So, how do you see Julian's legacy reflected in your mission to support first generation chemistry learners?
Oh, but because of the fact that he was born. He was one of the later kids. He was born from people that was born in slavery.
Hmm.
His mom and dad was slaves.
Hmm.
Now he did have to leave America to get his doctorate. But he was one of the first black men to have a doctorate of chemistry, top 3 or 4. And so he was beyond first generation. He was the first imagination. Okay, he was the first to even dream that a black man could get a chemistry doctorate.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my vision personally, but I'll get my doctorate in June and July. And that doctorate work, it only empowers my chemistry background. It empowers the work. And by chemistry being the third most needed STEM course for a STEM major,
Mm-hmm.
First come Algebra 1, then we get Biology 1. Boo. I don't like biology people. They got the cooties. And and chemistry.
Yes.
So you got to get through chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
If you're trying to do any of these vectors, even engineers only some need 1 semester chemistry only. They got to get through chemistry 111, chemistry 1. And so knowing that he was able to make this groundwork that he made and to get his bachelor's in America and pushing on and creating these great scientists and these great things, these great opportunities. Just think about it. Him selling his company for $2.2 million to GlaxoSmithKline has paid the way for molecules, jobs, and work. Just showing them that when I tell that story to them, that there's a spot in that building that's only made because of the money they made off that business deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a place for you. We just got to figure it all out, and we're gonna do it together. Like I said before, I never want to be right, but I need for us to get it right.
Final question for you.
Oh man, okay.
Julian was both a scientist and an advocate. How has his dual role influenced your vision as an educator and entrepreneur?
Yes, and that's what you said. I mean, it really was. I mean, his ability to. That's why that's a part of the 5S business books of business is advocacy. There's no way I'm going to sit up here and do all this science literacy. I'm going to write these grants and become PIs and be co-PIs or just be in the background as the statistician and quantitative person and not advocate. If somewhere in this work we're doing, we're not creating a better place for somebody and we're not speaking truth. I don't give a damn about that power. Speaking truth to whoever shows up. Mm-hmm. We can speak truth and we can say these things flat-footed without having to dance, without having to make it look cute for you. We're just going to tell you what the truth is and we're going to move forward from there. And so the advocacy he did, he was he put the money to work. He said, oh, they don't want to hire people over here. Well, I'm going to make this chemical. But now I'm going to help out, not Fisk. Yeah, Meharry. I almost said Fisk. He helped out Fisk also, Meharry Medical School in Nashville, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. He did a little small micro information, little small money to keep things going, help them do some research. That way they would have product that would make them more valuable in the workspace and then to be, utilized. And so his work was trying to make sure things like that. That's what I want 5S to be. We don't have to get all the acclaim and fame, but some kind of way people can know it's a space for them. And we can do these little small things here and there. Even I give 10% of our revenue goes back into the community as fast as possible. I've even moved a little higher than that doing community trainees. I've done 2 so far. And I pay them through that and they are utilized. So putting it back out there and feeding the ecosystem and listening to the ecosystem. That's what Professor Julian did. And I think that 5S we can shoot for the moon, land on a star. Let's try it.
So in closing, what are some words of wisdom and encouragement that you have for our audience? Tell them how they can connect with you via your social media. Tell them about your website, all of those good things.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, okay. So website, www.5sllc.com. You can sign up to kind of catch up with me. Next month, we start an Instagram to reach some of my parents. I want to reach parents and kind of coach them on how to better serve their young minds. And we're going to be going into another level of 5S. I'm going to be doing a program, I'm going to apply for a program and then get in to Social Venture Studios. And I'm going to work with them. They're going to help me build out some brain drain boxes to prevent the brain drain of our certain young scholars. It's coming soon, And so through LinkedIn, you can look for Antwan Daniels, ANTWAN, last name Daniels. Look for Instagram 5S is coming soon next month. You'll see me there. And then LinkedIn, and then send me an email. I love emails. And Mr. Charles King know I like my email. I'm blessed to be www.texasscienceguy@yahoo.com, but also www.kcsciguy, SCIGUY at gmail.com. And so I'm trying to motivate the whole I-35. So one day I'm gonna be Minnesota Sci Guy too. I am. I'm not playing. I'm speaking into life, Mr. Charles.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
life. I'm gonna be Minnesota Sci Guy too. But yeah, so you can reach me on those three or right there to the website. Check out the website. See what's going on with it. I mean, it's getting better. It's going to be getting revamped again. And I want to see more of this right here. And just send me an email. If it's a student you have who needs to hear something from them, some good, or want me to look at a problem, I will jump on a problem and look at a problem and put up a gas law, Ball's law, Charles law, Avogadro's law. I'll put them all up there. We play with the number P and V's and all these great things and just talk them through it. And the biggest thing is I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to listen. I'm going to say, okay, this is what we got to do. This is where we're going with this problem. And so I want to be valuable to everybody I can be valuable to. And I'm 44 years old. And I'm getting a little scared. I'm getting a little older. I'm like, okay, what does this look like? So I'm trying, Charles.
You got a long ways to go. Look, I want to thank you for blessing us with your presence, and we definitely have to have you back on the show.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
I want to thank you for being here because the work that you're doing, especially when you talk about chemistry, that matters in a lot of factual ways. Basically, I would say more so in ways that not only do our younger kids need to understand, but some of the older adults may want to understand that. But I think for the development of our younger kids, these are some things that they need to know so they can understand the interest, the intrigue, and why this may be something that they really want to go after.
Yes. One more thing for my older people is the power of affinity groups. I was blessed to be at MCC, and I saw great leadership, and I saw her working, Black women putting the work in to make our affinity group more powerful. The African American Faculty Staff Association, no matter what affinity group you're part of, neurodiversity, you're part of a women's affinity group, there is a safe place for you. That's where you're going to get your most ideas and a growth space for you. I want to see people, make sure people understand that. I know they may be like, I don't want to go to that meeting, I don't want to go to that meeting. There's so much value in going there. And when you go there, you're gonna be empowered. And I want to bring it up real fast because that's something I don't speak enough about, but I'm going to start speaking more about those affinity groups.
Yes, sir. Okay. And for those of you that are watching on any of our 8 channels that we broadcast live on, I appreciate your support. For those of you in particular that are watching on the YouTube channels, if you have not yet subscribed and enabled all notifications, I ask if you will please support us by subscribing and enabling notifications to our channels, please. We definitely would love to have you to watch each and every show as we go live, but you'll also be able to go back and watch some of the previous recorded shows, and you get to learn a lot as to the information that our guests have dropped here and will continue to drop. Also, for those of you that have not yet joined our community, we have a community as well that you could join. There's one side where it's got the podcast. The other side, you can do networking, you can do posts, you can read posts, you can comment on posts. You can even get our monthly magazine there as well. And I would appreciate if you guys could also go into the magazine, please subscribe. I think you would get a lot of joy out of watching that and looking at that magazine because It features each and every guest that has been on the show for the month, but also you get to learn a whole lot more in their bios and watching their videos again. So I want to thank you guys, and I appreciate you for being here. Please come back and see us again tomorrow night here on American Black and White, where we will continue to color conversations on the canvas of America. I'm your host, Charles King, and also on that show tomorrow, just in final closing, that show tomorrow, I will be doing a special where I will be telling you guys a lot about the U.S. government.
Yes, yes.
That shut down. So please join us again tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will check you all then. And please have a great night. Hey, thank you again, Antwan, and I will definitely be reaching out to you with more data.
Yes, yes. Enjoyed it so much, Charles. Look forward to watching more. Reading the book also. That book is powerful, you guys. I was browsing doing it. I'm like, man, he's doing it, Charles. And so I want to make sure that I keep pushing. We got more work to do.
Yes, sir.